Hey guys, it's me again, and I just have a brief rant today. All the quote unquote high watch dates for the Rapture have passed. I'm not sure if there's another one. I think this weekend is supposed to be another high watch date. It's not really a big one. It's Ascension Day. They say, I guess that's when they determined that, I guess, Jesus ascended into heaven. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the background on that. But all the big ones like, Passover, second Passover, those are done, and they've been done for about a couple weeks now, or a week and a half or so. Anyway, there is another video that I haven't watched yet. It's from one of my favorite Watchmen guys, and I'm not going to mention his name, but he has another one yet, and I haven't seen it yet. And I'm making this video before I watch his video on purpose because right now it's kind of like one of those days where it's just kind of I'm feeling a little down because of the whole no rapture thing. I'm sure that many of us are, who those of us who are day to day watching for the rapture. The rapture is on our mind basically 24/7. We have a one-track mind, and we see everything through the lens of the rapture. If you're one of those people, you're like me, and you're probably a little bummed right now, and that is okay. As I like to always say, we can only get discouraged or bummed if we're truly watching. And only those who are not watching are the ones that don't get bummed, that don't get phased. So I'm deliberately not watching this guy's new video until I make this video because I'm not sure what he's going to be saying. And who knows, maybe he'll come up with this awesome date that's even more convincing than whatever it is he's ever come up with in the past. And it'll get me out of, these depressing days, really. Well, I'm not really depressed, but basically I want to make this video when I'm not cheerful about something regarding the rapture. So I just want to embrace the despair right now. I've made a video on that before, but right now I'm truly feeling the despair, as I'm sure many of us are, and that's okay. As I always say, the birth pangs are here to stay. They're not going anywhere, but we are. And whenever I make a video about the high watch dates or commenting on it, I often get comments from people that say, "Oh, there's no high watch dates. It's blah blah blah. No one knows the day or the hour." The people who like to argue no one knows the day or the hour, first of all, are clueless. That verse saying no one knows the day or the hour has nothing to do with the rapture. I've said that many times. But people, throughout the decades, maybe even more, have been brainwashed that no one knows the day or the hour is pertaining to the rapture when it absolutely is not. It is not. Just read the verse prior, and that's what it's all about. I understand certain Bibles have headers that separate verse 35 and verse 36 of Matthew 24, suggesting that it's moving on to another topic. But, that's not the case at all. So you just look that up yourself. I'm not really making this video to make a case for that. But if you just want to take my word for it, the takeaway is that nobody knows the day or the hour, has nothing to do with the rapture, as I've been saying over and over again. Now, that's kind of hard to shake if you grew up in a 501c3 church that has brainwashed its congregation that verse is talking about that. Because as I've said in the past many times, that the rapture is bad business for the local 501c3 church. Because when you're looking forward to the rapture and your eyes are on Jesus, that means your eyes are not on the local church. The local church wants to be Jesus in your life. And I'm not saying that in a positive way. They want your money. They want your attention. They want the glory. Jesus is just their product. Jesus is just the product that they provide. So, in order to attract people. But the reality is, local churches, it's all about them. They want your money, they want your business. And if your hope is in the Lord, if your hope is not in this world, then that's bad for their business. Okay? Now, the local church wants to convince each and every single one of us that we're going to be here forever. So we better keep pumping our money towards them. And it's funny, whenever the church talks about giving, they're always the recipient, nobody else. So it's just a scam, and that's not really what I even wanted to talk about. But whenever I start talking about the 501c3 church, it just gets me going, because they're Satan's biggest scam. It doesn't matter how great their doctrine may seem, they all serve mammon. It's taken me years to arrive to that conclusion. I probably started thinking that way about over 10 years ago, and I've prayed about it, struggled with it. I wanted to make sure it wasn't just my flesh, that I'm hating on the local church, but it's not. I've gotten confirmation after confirmation, and I'm at peace with this conclusion that I came to, that the local church is evil. It's serving mammon, even if it talks about Christ, even if it preaches the gospel. So, yep, I'm totally at peace with that stance. And do not forsake the gathering of ourselves together. Yeah, the local church does not have the corner on the gathering of ourselves together. In fact, as I've said before, the local church is probably the least qualified to make that claim about the gathering of ourselves together. And talking about forsaking the gathering of ourselves together, the ultimate gathering of ourselves together is the rapture, our blessed hope. Do not forsake that. And as I've said over and over again, the pre-trib view of the rapture is the only view that the Bible recognizes. It's the only view that makes sense of 2 Peter, that scoffers passage. I think it's 2 Peter 3:4. I'm not sure on that, but I think that's it. Or 3:3, one of those. Look it up. But there will be scoffers in the last day. That only applies to the pre-trib view of the church. Because who else is going to be talking about Jesus can come in any moment? And by the way, they said in the last days. And the last days is a specific time period. And it's not a period that started 2,000 years ago. No, we didn't start the last days until Israel was reborn as a nation. At the earliest, that's when the last days began. But it might even have been later than that. We're in the last days now, almost for sure. I mean, all the signs are around us, so we should be encouraged. But again, the high watch date thing, the people who hate the high watch dates are only those who hate his appearing. Those are the professing Christians who don't want to associate with those of us who look for the rapture, because it makes them look bad. It makes them look stupid. It's all about them. And they don't want to be associated with us, and they don't want us talking about the rapture or entertaining these so-called high watch dates, because they think it makes them look stupid to the world. And that's what they care about, the world's approval, the world's acceptance. I don't care what they think at all. And if you're one of those guys who oppose these high watch dates, then you're an idiot. Sorry. Or you're not saved. Or you're really, really, really ignorant. So take your pick. Which one are you? So anyway, guys, the rest of us who are looking for the blessed hope, I know that these are trying times. These are challenging times. But, that's just how the Lord operates. More than ever, we need to know the Lord, understand his character, and how he has operated in the past. I always like to go back to the Red Sea moment, because, like I said in the past, the Lord could have easily parted the Red Sea way in advance before the Israelites got there. So they could have just kept on going, no drama, and crossed. But no, the Lord wanted to make sure that they were at a dead end, completely desperate, nowhere else to go, enemy breathing down their necks, and just in total despair. And I think that's where we're headed. That's the Lord's going to drive us to that point. So we should embrace this despair. Maybe there's going to be another high watch date that's gonna make more sense. Maybe there won't be. I still am very, very convinced that we can know the day and the hour. Revelation 3:4 verse Revelation chapter 3 verse 4 strongly suggests that, and the fact that we're supposed to be watching tells me that we will know. It's not going to be just, yeah, we will know ahead of time, and it doesn't mean that we're going to know 5 years ahead of time or 2 years ahead of time. Maybe we'll know just a couple of weeks ahead of time, a couple of days, a couple of months. But we're supposed to be watching with the intent of knowing the day and the hour. And we're going to zero in, guys. If you have a gifting, if you've had dreams, have some sort of revelation from the Lord, please, I encourage you to pray about it. Make sure it really is from the Lord. And maybe you can share it with us, make your own videos or post it in the comments, and maybe get some confirmation from one of us, any of us, the body of Christ. We just got to keep on searching. So anyway, there's my rant for today, and hopefully there won't be a next time, but I'll see you next time if there is.